Welcome back to Thoughts Over Coffee, where a couple of thoughts share our thoughts over coffee. Topics will include BPD,
That's me.
ADHD, oh, no, autism,
That's her.
ADHD,
That's both of us.
as well as culture, dating, and whatever else our silly brains want to talk about today. So, how you doing, Sassy?
I'm tired. You?
Yeah. Uh, N yeah, but that's just because my MS stuff is happening soon, so I'm just always perpetually tired right now.
Oh yeah, we're coming to the month, right? August.
It's always August and February.
Woo!
Yeah, so score pretty soon. Then I'll hyper and ready to process life again for like 5 months.
Yeah. But I do
Or
have some world news to share. Thailand and Cambodia are at war.
oh no.
How fun.
Ooh.
Um, Now they are not calling it war, and people are saying they are not officially at war, which is why I was like, I don't understand the definition of war because both sides are killing each other. So what is a war? What?
Yeah, I mean, if they're fighting and
On
like
both sides of the border, people
military.
are dying now.
Yeah, I don't know, that seems like a war to me.
Right? But every news outlet is like, well, let's hope this doesn't turn to full scale war. And I'm like, what?
Like,
um,
could you guys not? There's already freaking so many other people attacking each other. Why? Why? Why more
there's,
people have to attack people?
I really do wonder if there is like a strict definition for the term war that it hasn't been met. Like the governments have to declare it a war or something. I don't know why. But very different tactics happening. Cambodia, it's very funny to look at, and then you realize kind of what's going on, and it's less funny. But Cambodia's military compared to Thai's military is like a little kid throwing stones at a tank. Like
Oh.
Thailand has a full air force, and Cambodia has zero fighter jets.
Yeah, because they're like third worldy? Question
Technically, both of us are third world. Huh, us, look at me. Um,
mark?
but yeah, they are a lot more third world. They are extremely poor. The population is way smaller than Thailand. The active military duty personnel is way smaller. The training is less. The equipment is like they've got tanks, but they're like old ass Soviet tanks, and we've got fresh ones.
Why would they go at war with each other then?
Yeah, and then the tactics are real fucking interesting because I believe the Thai media, I do right now very much because everything coming out of the Cambodian side just seems sus. Like, what are you talking about?
Terrible.
Yeah, that's been happening. But then reading up on some of the like, because I know a bit of Cambodia's history, but not recent history. I've known like
Hmm.
kind of like Pol Pot, the Khmer Rouge, and the killing fields and everything. And then post that era, I don't really know what was happening. But
Okay.
post that, the leader of Cambodia for like 40 years since that happened was Hun Sen, a one person. And
Hmm.
I kind of thought, because from what I'd understood, he was fighting for Cambodia on the side opposing Pol Pot and the Khmer Rouge, right? Like he was fighting for the good guys.
Okay.
And so I thought it's like, okay, yeah, obviously he becomes the leader for a long time after. He's a powerful figure in Cambodia. But it turns out he's kind of ruled Cambodia with an iron fist. And
Oh.
yeah, and Cambodia has not prospered at all since Pol Pot, since all of that happened and the genocide. They are not in a good space economically. Like their people are struggling. Cambodia is a struggle to survive.
Oh.
So it's not like he led the country into any sort of like prosperous age. They've just been in kind of the same struggle. And he actually put his son into power after him 2 years ago. Just kind of like
Oh.
appointed. It doesn't sound like a vote. It sounds like his son was just put into power.
Mhm.
So what seems like the most likely thing that's happening here is that because he's still in control, even though his son is in power, Hun Sen is still in control of Cambodia. It sounds like,
Course.
yeah, I think he wants to instill like he's trying to build power around his son by creating a need for like strong leadership from the people and this sense of like,
Mhm.
oh, all of this horrible things is happening. We have to look up to our powerful leaders and create a dynasty. I guess dynasty is the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. I don't think the world is like even like third world countries, I feel like we're too, I don't the too far into the dynasty era where it's like one person to rule everything. It's
You
not
know,
Lord of the Rings.
yeah, as Westerners, it does often feel like we've moved past that, right? Like the royal family of England is just like celebrities. They don't hold any sway over
Yeah.
anything. But,
Oh.
you look at some of the world powers, like look at Russia. Putin's been in charge of Russia for how long? That is just a straight up dictatorship. Elections, sure, yeah, you have elections in
Yeah.
Russia. So,
No, they they say they do.
yeah, we totally do, and Putin wins every time. Don't check.
Don't check.
Don't check.
So
It's
silly.
yeah, a lot of the world still runs on these like extraordinary power grabs by dictators, and Cambodia is definitely the kind of country where that's going to easily happen. There's just not opportunity. They're too poor, too isolated.
Oh, sad.
Hmm. But it's not going to work for them, and that's what the people in power want, right? They want the normal people, to suffer so they can retain power.
Isn't that like all dictatorship horrible men? Look at what's happening in the States. I'm a man and I want all the power. Ah.
Something's wrong with that finger. You might want to get that one checked out. He's going for a power grab.
Ah.
That's just human history, doomed to repeat.
Forever. If you don't study history, you'll just repeat it over and over and over again.
This is depressing. Do you have a fun episode for us?
I pulled up some Am I the Asshole relationship from Reddit today.
That sounds awesome.
I'm going to start with this one because it makes me annoyed.
Okay, which
So we'll
one
start
is
at the
that?
top. All right. It's already deleted. That's how, like, the user's deleted. That's how
Ooh.
terrible it went. Am I the asshole for not wanting to date girls on SSRIs?
Why? What is your fucking logic? You got burned by one bitch? Okay. Maybe he only wants to date girls who are also mentally ill but untreated for the fun of it.
Right? Yeah, because then he can manipulate those ones, right?
Oh, see, I'm
They
going in
haven't
blind to these. You've read it. Oh.
they haven't gone through therapy, you know? They haven't
Mhm,
helped
mhm.
themselves yet.
All right. I don't have the links
All
for
right.
any of this, so I'm just gonna listen as you go through.
Sounds good. So, for context, I'm a 20-year-old man who is generally happy, in shape, and has career goals, which are also things I look for in a partner. And I've been dating this girl who I now know is on SSRIs. I found out about it on the 6th or 7th date, and I did not have any relationship with her prior to dating. If I'm going to be into a relationship, I want it to benefit my life, My concern is dating this girl is that she has some mental illness that might bring some challenges that come with being her boyfriend. I fear dating someone that struggles to have drive and ambition in life, as there is so much I want to see and do, and I don't want anyone to hinder that. I'm aware that I might be dealing with some stigma here, and I feel conflicted. On one hand, I'm trying to be practical and safeguard my future, and on the other, I feel guilty for potentially being dismissive because of her medication. The asshole.
I I I officially think we should implement an emotional intelligence test before men are allowed to date.
Could be for anyone though. Like,
Yeah,
because there's so
true.
many people that aren't emotionally intelligent, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah, just a standard all gender, all whatever the fuck emotional intelligence test. I just think
Yeah.
like 90% of women will pass it and 90% of men will fail at the age of 20.
Well, at 20, because women age mature quicker than men.
Yeah,
So he's
a
technically his
baby.
brain is like 18 still, I think.
Compared
It's like
to a
2 years
woman,
behind.
it's tough
Yeah.
because, like, they're in did he say something about college? They're in college?
He's 20
Mhm.
and he is happy and has career goals.
Okay, so I'm not sure if they were in university or not because I feel like I don't know, there's a couple different camps of people, but there's a lot of people who, because they jump straight from high school to college or university, just kinda continue in that
Yeah.
high school mindset without, like, maturing into the real world. Versus I
Yep.
think you and me starting to work young and take care of ourselves very
Yep.
young hit probably a much higher level of emotional intelligence or just world knowledge that he is lacking.
Also, like SSRIs could be anything. It could be she has ADHD. It could be she has anxiety. It could be depression. You don't even know what it is. You're just like, she's on SSRIs for I don't know what reason. I don't want to date her anymore. It's just like,
The
okay.
like wild stupidity in everything he's wrote, and then I keep being like, right, he's 20. That makes sense. But
Yeah.
it's like the one thing that really got me was I can't remember exactly how he worded it there, but something about how because he wants the relationship to benefit his life, he doesn't want to bring in some sort of problems. And it's like, yeah, we all want our relationships to benefit our lives, but every single relationship, medicated or unmedicated, is going to bring problems too because you're partnering
Yeah.
with a whole ass other person with their
And you have
own
to,
thoughts and ideas and goals and aspirations that are not going to perfectly moosh with yours. Like,
no, no.
so
You
he
have to
doesn't.
compromise and be flexible.
Yeah, yeah, that's literally it. So he doesn't actually want a partnership, a relationship. He wants a doll, like a
He
programmable
wants
doll.
a trad wife.
Yeah. It does give that a little bit, except the fact that he said he wants her to also have like goals and aspirations and be career oriented. But
Yep.
it is like, okay, you want that, but you don't also want her to have a personality that might clash with yours.
Nope. How dare you? How how dare you have a personality? How dare you want to help your brain? Because it's like, I'm sorry. Generally, it's because your brain isn't creating,
Some sort of chemical. Yeah. Like,
right? It's like my brain's not creating that chemical, so the pill helps my brain create the chemical.
and the fact that he's writing off someone who has actively sought out treatment and is actively bettering themselves, like you would rather someone who didn't?
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
Please read to me some of the comments. I would love to see the Redditors just tell him what for.
All right. So you're the asshole for judging a whole person based solely on the fact that they happen to take a particular class of medication. if this girl is generally good for you, how does the SSRIs change that? Question mark. And he responds, that's valid. I don't think I should be so quick to judge, and a conversation about why she's taking them may be better.
Maybe.
You're the asshole. You're making assumptions about people on SSRIs, but without understanding why they're on SSRIs. It covers many treatments and they help people live a more balanced, fulfilled life. Just because someone's on SSRIs doesn't mean they lack drive and ambition. It often means they're taking steps to manage their mental health responsibly.
Exactly. That was the other thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, his like, well, lacking drive and ambition, like as if that was coupled with taking SSRIs. How did you make that connection? Those are not related at all.
And he's like, I've never been on SSRIs or dated someone on them, but I've heard stories from people and combined with things I know about mental illness, I'm hesitant. Not saying I'm right, just explaining my thinking.
Ugh.
No, he's, yeah, everybody says she deserves better
Yeah,
and you're the asshole.
yeah. She definitely
Yeah.
deserves better than somebody who's already thinking of like just writing her off as a person for without even having a conversation
Yep.
for something that they lack the knowledge on.
This person's like, so she's given you no indication that her mental health is or will be an issue, but you're assuming it will be. Please end things for her so she can find one better suited.
Yeah. Oh,
No, terrible human. That's the one I was just like, really? Really?
just
No,
stupid idiot 20-year-old that he just gives me the vibe that he thinks he knows everything about everything,
right?
right?
Yeah. No, I know everything. I'm in college right now and I'm taking intro courses and
I just have a lot of drive and ambition.
yeah, so
Okay.
much drive. And I'm taking like some type of science, like let's say he's taking some type of computer course, which has nothing to do with mental health, but he knows,
He knows.
he knows.
He knows.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm I don't mean to, make a big deal out of this, but I trade Bitcoin, so I know what I'm talking about.
Oh my gosh. My mom, side tangent. So my mom's in town right now and she keeps talking about her partner's family. So
Okay.
her her partner's husband's or her partner's brother's wife. There we go.
Okay.
She's from the Philippines and she came over, married him,
Oh.
had a bunch of kids and stuff like that. Now the kids are all grown up. So now she's doing it's like a Bitcoin tour. So she's with a group of people and they go to different cities and promote this Bitcoin. And she has to keep getting people in her downline. So it's like a Bitcoin MLM.
It's a Bitcoin MLM. They've got them.
Bitcoin MLM. And I'm just like, and my mom was just like, oh, what about this? I'm like, could you stop with the Bitcoin? The only time Bitcoin was really stable was when it was literally just Bitcoin. There was no other
Mhm.
freaking like cryptocurrency. Stop talking about it unless you want to lose all your money.
I am at this half. There are two wolves inside of me right now. Okay.
Yeah,
And one of them is utterly flabbergasted at the concept of a Bitcoin MLM. And the other one is
right?
fully not surprised that this exists in our world now.
So, yeah, there's
Yeah.
that. I just,
Interesting side tangent though. That's
yeah,
yes.
side tangent.
Mhm.
Okay. Uh, so next, this one is just terrible.
Okay, next one.
I hope you're excited. All right.
Okay.
Am I the a-hole for not telling my girlfriend some random things just to see if she'll respect the boundary?
Okay, so he's testing his girlfriend, and testing
Yeah.
people is never a good look, but go on.
No. Nope, people should never test their partners for stuff like this, but all right. My girlfriend's been telling me that something I do is weird and I should see a psychiatrist about it. She says it's not normal in Europe. I'm not European, so I'd figure I'd ask here. I don't think this is normal anywhere, but okay.
Okay.
I have I have this habit where I kind of test people's respect for my boundaries without really meaning to. For example, someone might ask if they can read something I wrote on a random folded piece of paper. Even if what's written is super normal and generic, I'll reflexively say no. Not because I'm hiding anything, but because I want to see how they'll react. If they're cool about it and just accept my no, it makes me feel like, wow, they respect my boundaries, even though they're curious. And I'll end up feeling way more comfortable with them. But if they push or make a big deal out of it, it feels like they care about the curiosity more than my boundaries. And recently, I was talking to my girlfriend about an experience I had with an ex, and she asked to see a picture of her or know her name. I said no. And this turned into a huge discussion. My girlfriend feels that if we're going to be close as we want to be, I need to be an open book to her, just like she says she is for me, in that she hides nothing from me. She doesn't think it's okay to keep anything from each other, no matter how small it may be. She also thinks the way I test boundaries like this is unhealthy. She said I need to figure out why I do it, and she even suggested seeing a psychiatrist to make sure I'm not crazy. Is this really weird or messed up?
What are their ages, did he say?
Nope.
Well,
No ages.
I think everyone sucks here. That's my initial. Both him and the girlfriend kind of suck because she seems insecure because
Oh, because she wants to see the girlfriend, the ex and stuff,
yeah,
or
it's a little bit like that's not necessarily about his privacy. That's also kind of about the ex's privacy. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. Age makes a big difference here. I just assume they're young because both of these behaviors feel young.
yeah.
But I, that to me seems like a reasonable boundary. But the fact that he has already admitted that these are not actually his boundaries, these are just him playing a fun little game of let's fuck with everyone around us because I wanna, because I'm the main
Mm-hmm.
character in life.
Yep.
So, like, he sucks. But if that were an actual boundary that she was being pushy about, that would be shitty for her, right? If I feel like that's a reasonable boundary.
I get curious. I always get curious about who people have dated in the past, right? I don't get offended if they don't want to show me who they are or anything. Like I'm just kind of
Yeah.
like, all right, whatever. Because I have heard, obviously, I listened to way too many Reddit stories where people they end up like stalking the ex, so they'll like mold themselves to be like
Oh,
the ex. If the ex cuts their hair, they'll cut their hair. The ex wears this kind of style, they'll wear that kind of style. But in terms of him literally doing it just to see how other people will react to him saying no,
it's fucking
that's
weird.
weird.
Yeah.
That's weird. Like if you,
It's
it's
not the exact same thing as what I'm about to say, but I had a friend who long story short, online friend for a very, very long time. I thought we were super, super close friends. When I was 21, I visited him in New Zealand because we were across the planet online friends. And at the time, I really wasn't happy. I wasn't enjoying any time around him. I was just like stressed and tense. I was 21 years old and I didn't understand. I didn't have the emotional depth to understand what was going on. I just thought like I was burnt out from traveling Australia and New Zealand and I needed alone time, I
yeah.
thought. Um, and then our friendship wasn't as close after, but we still were friends for a very, very long time. And then quite a few years later, what year was the Fort McMurray fire?
Not before 2020, 2016,
16, I think
2017?
probably around 2016. So yeah, like
Yeah.
5-ish years later, he decided to take a vacation and come to Canada, and we were hanging out, and he had told me before he came, he's like, "Oh, I like to just fuck with people sometimes. I find it fun." He was a little bit like a cringy edgelord type, so I didn't really think anything of it. And then while we were hanging out, it turns out what
Oh,
he'd meant by that was he likes to constantly lie to everyone around him. Like, just make
yes,
up
because that's
bullshit
fun.
stories. Yeah, and lie, and it triggered me to the point that partway through that trip, I was done. I cut him off. I was like, like, you go do your own trip by yourself. I'm done. Never talk to him again."
Yeah. No,
And
that's
mm,
no, no.
it's not the same as this. This is a much what this guy has described as a much milder version. It's not like making up some full-blown bullshit lie to people, but we are
No,
hearing it from his perspective. So he's probably downplaying and being like, "Oh, it's just this small little thing I do to test boundaries," and it just feels like exactly how this guy justified. Like he's like, "Oh, I just like to fuck with people and see what they'll believe because it's just interesting to see what people believe." And I
right?
detested and loathed that. He lied to my family.
On. You
Yeah.
can't lie to the family. Like, first of all, you're never gonna see them ever again. Why lie? Why, like,
He only does to people like that, basically. He probably doesn't do this to his actual friends who can call him out and be like, "What the fuck? You said something different," or "That's not true." And he also was like an extraordinary max level mansplainer, which was horrific. But
I hate
yeah,
that.
I brought him out into the countryside because I was like, "Oh, I'll show you the real like Canadian countryside," because I got to meet his family in New Zealand. And he just
Yeah.
like made up this whole ass bullshit story to my mom and dad about all of his like martial arts prowess and how he was able to use pressure points to defeat a guy who owned an MMA gym. And anyone who knows anything knows pressure points don't exist or masseuses would be deadly assassins. Like that's not a
Like,
thing.
oh my God.
Yeah, and he was literally trying to be like, "Oh yeah, all I had to do was push him right there behind the neck, and he just went down like a sack of potatoes, and that's why MMA is bullshit." Kind of a thing. Like he didn't have that much swagger though. Imagine that, but more of a like, him. All I had to do was, like fucking neckbeard cringe shit.
No, that's terrible. No,
Yeah,
no.
and this
Sorry, sir.
yeah, I couldn't let that one go, especially because Randy is my best friend. Randy was my best friend at the
Right?
time. Like, my I'm sorry, you're gonna make up to my family some insane bullshit martial arts thing when my best friend is a world-renowned self-defense instructor that literally travels the world and teaches?
Like,
Yeah.
no.
But yeah, I called him out on that because after he finished that story, my dad was like, "Isn't that cool, Sassy? Another martial arts friend to protect you." And I was like, "Oh no, I don't need nobody to fucking protect me. I'm protect my fucking self." So I just
Right?
was like, except for the fact that all of that is complete bullshit that he said. That doesn't exist. That was a made up story that he just told you. It doesn't, like, that's just not real.
No,
Yeah.
no.
He's, it's,
Like, no.
yeah. It was just, and something about this guy and the testing people just reminds me of that, and now I'm triggered.
Oh, no. Like, nobody should test their relationship like that. Like, you
Mm-mm.
shouldn't. That's not, if you have a boundary, you tell them your boundary. If they cross the boundary, you'd be like, hey, we talked about this. This was my boundary. You did cross it. And then you watch how they react that way. If they're
Mhm.
dicks, then it's just like, okay, maybe this person isn't obviously the one for you. If they honestly like forgot and they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I completely forgot, blah, blah, blah. Then, but you should be able to just have open communication and talk about it. If you're constantly like testing them, they're going to be on edge all the time. They're not going to feel comfortable in any space with you. Just,
And
No.
they're not gonna believe you because you're making
Right?
up fake boundaries on bullshit things. Like, it's lying by omission, right?
Yep.
You're trying to be like, "No, I don't want to. This is a boundary of mine." But your partner knows that you just make up bullshit boundaries for no reason whatsoever just to test people. And if they're genuinely curious about something or trying to have a genuine connection and conversation with you and you pull this, they're going to be like, "Are you fucking joking right now?"
Right?
Which it sounds like is exactly what happened with her. She was like, maybe that's why she got triggered by this. It's not necessarily like, show me what your ex looks like. It might just be like, okay, I'm done with this behavior. Fix it
Right?
or get the fuck out.
It could have been the last straw. Like, especially for how long he doesn't say how long they're dating for, but it's just like if he's been doing this the entire time that they've been like seeing each other, at one point you're just going to be like, okay, enough's enough. Like, there's
Yeah.
obviously something mentally wrong with you, and you need to go talk to a doctor to be like, hey, why am I doing this? Is it because when you were little, your mom or your dad did this to you, or, your one parent was doing it to your other parent, so it's a learned thing? Like, why do you do this?
Yeah. For me, maybe only because it reminds me of this ex friend of mine, but it gives off
Mhm.
superiority complex.
Right?
Yeah. Does it for you too, or is that my bias?
It just gives like douchey. I want It's just like, depending on how you act is gonna see if you're my friend. Like, he's trying to test you
Yeah.
constantly to be like, are you good enough to be in my circle? Are you good
Yeah.
enough to be around me? Like, it's very just,
Like, who the fuck do you think you are?
right?
Yeah.
You're like, oh, what are you writing there? Oh, just some thoughts about blah blah blah. Takes two
Hmm.
seconds. You don't need to
Yeah.
be like, because if you do that, that immediately, for me anyway, it would trigger like, okay, you were writing something that I'm not allowed to see.
Yeah,
Why
something
am I not allowed
about
to see it?
me or
Yeah,
something that
is it
involves me. Yeah.
yeah,
Mhm.
like, it's just it immediately triggers that, and then I'm on edge, and then I'm on guard, and I'm just like, "Okay, note to self, don't really trust this person,
And boundaries
and if I
are
can't
supposed
trust
to
you."
be something that actually impacts you.
Right?
Like, if anything, to me in this situation, I would be the one laying down a real boundary about, like, okay, here's my boundary. You are not going to lie to me like this anymore
Yeah,
because I'm not going to accept that kind of treatment because you are treating me as less than you, as your fun little
right?
doll you can play little games with because you think you're just some mental mastermind. No.
Mhm. No, I don't play those games, I don't like those
Mhm.
games. I understand the people who, maybe they need some time to process the thoughts or the feelings, and then they'll come back and talk to you. But if we just never discuss it again, and I'm just like, "Hey, can we talk about the thing?" And they're like, "No." It's like, "Okay, bye."
Yep.
Like, you can't have love without the trust, sir. And if
Yeah,
they don't
and you are
trust you.
degrading the trust over time. You are picking at it and picking at it every
Yep.
time you do this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm not a
Oh,
fan.
yeah.
I do still
No.
kind of stick like, obviously, you have, like, unreliable narrators, and most people are a little bit unreliable narrators. We're all telling our own story. Um, but he does seem like more of an unreliable narrator because he's playing this off as such a little thing, and it's clearly not a little thing to his girlfriend and other people probably too.
Yeah.
But by how he has described this story, I'm gonna stick with everyone sucks here because I didn't like her like, "You have to be an open book and show me what your ex looks like." It's like, why? It's a weird one.
Right?
Um, but probably in reality, she might have, like, valid reasons for being like, "Okay, I just wanna put some fucking boundary back down because this is ridiculous."
Right? Or maybe she wants to see who it is so she can message her and be like, "Hey, you dated this guy. Did he
Can
do
you
this with
believe it?
you? Like,
Maybe.
did he did he do this with you? Is it, or is it just a me thing?"
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I'd want to contact an ex, to be like, okay, so he's acting like this. Is this normal? Was he doing this the entire time? And then she'd be like, yeah, girl, he's doing this the entire time. I couldn't handle it anymore, so I left. And it's just like, all right, good to know. I'm going to leave and say, go to therapy, figure your shit out. Then we can revisit the relationship.
Could be,
Like,
could be. I'll give her
yeah,
that benefit of the doubt that could be it. What does
that,
Reddit say? How did they vote?
oh, they all think he's an asshole.
Yeah.
You're an asshole. Stop playing games and testing people. You sound like you enjoy creating drama. You're an adult. Stop acting like a child. Yeah, you're the asshole. Your random boundary testing bullshit might make you feel more comfortable, but it sure isn't making the people around you comfortable. And yes, you take your current girlfriend's advice and go see a therapist before your current girlfriend becomes an ex-girlfriend because you're an
Mhm.
asshole.
Yep.
Yep, you're an asshole and annoying as fuck.
Yes. Yes. Agreed. Big
Yep,
time.
yep, yep. No, everybody says he is terrible. He obviously has trust issues.
Mm-hmm.
He's very toxic. So, and it is not a normal behavior. So everybody agrees. There's not a single comment on here that says, you know, both are assholes or,
Okay.
she's an asshole. No, it's literally just he is terrible.
Fair. I stand outvoted.
He's a terrible, terrible human that, because he's doing this with everybody, not
Yeah.
even like coworkers at work, friends.
The baristas at coffee shops, just anyone.
Yeah. Watch them be like, what's your name? And he's like, Ted. And then they're like, Ted. Oh, that's not my name, but you
That was
trusted
a
me, so thank you.
boundary. How dare you say my name out loud?
Right?
Or he's at Starbucks and he gives his name and it's one of those like could be spelled multiple ways. They're like, "How do you spell that?" He's like, "No, no, that's a boundary. I'm not gonna tell you." And they're just like,
Okay. No, so funny. Yeah, he's
"Fair."
he's terrible. But now we're gonna go for a woman who's possibly terrible.
I only have the title, so I keep checking the title to be like, "What's the next one?"
Okay. Uh the a-hole for wanting my boyfriend to remove a tattoo he got for his ex.
For his ex. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. All
Okay.
right. For context, we're both 23 and have known each other since middle school, but have only dated for a few months now. We have gone out of state together on vacation and have annual passes to theme parks together and go often. Anyways, he has the small insect tattoo he got for her on his wrist, and he knows I don't like it, and I have asked him to cover it up since it was for his ex, and I just personally don't like being reminded of it every time his left hand is out of his pocket. It's become harder to ignore recently because on vacation, my best friend asked him about the specific tattoo, and this past weekend, my little brother asked him about it too. I always answer the question for him, saying, oh, that's the tattoo he got for his ex. Isn't it so cute? Because he freezes up or says nothing. It's really starting to bother me now, though, because he just got on a whim yesterday, booked a flight to California. We live in Florida to go visit his friends. Now, I'm not upset because he's leaving the state to see the buddies. I'm upset because the flight was probably $300 to $500, and I know he will spend hundreds to thousands in Cali with his friends, but he just can't cover up a tattoo the size of $50 on his wrist. Initially, he couldn't cover it up because he needs time and money for a design and to get it. I don't know. Am I the asshole for being secretly upset about I know, about a freaking insect tattoo still on his wrist he got for his ex? Or, y'all, please tell me if you would be upset or not.
If this is how she thinks people behave secretly, that girl is, at the very least, she's a very open book on being able to read her.
You're like, "Girl, I can see the look on your face."
Yeah. Like,
Like, you're
you
not hiding no thing.
super passively aggressively telling everyone, "It's for his ex, isn't it cute?" Oh, yeah,
Oh
that's
my god.
secret.
No, and she's saying it in a really, like, catty, bitchy way
Yeah.
too. Like,
Isn't
she's
it
like, "Ugh,
cute?
isn't it cute? He got it for his
His
ex."
ex. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, w w one, I personally don't, unless it's for a kid, like your children, your even your married partner, your children, your married partner, your brother, like your initial family, I generally wouldn't get a tattoo for somebody you're dating, but that's just because I believe in the whole as soon as you get their tattoo named on you, they're gonna break up with you.
Yep.
Like, it's like a curse of death. Um,
I
but yeah,
but it's only her saying it's for his ex,
yeah,
right? That could have just been inspired at the time by the ex and whatever bug related thing. It might
yeah,
not be for her. It might have just been like, "Oh, no, I ended up, like, liking this thing aesthetically that, during the relationship, and so I got this
yeah.
tattoo that I aesthetically like." Um, because it's not her name, it is an insect, which
It's just like a lot of people get tattoos for moments in their life, right? Like, it
yeah.
doesn't really mean anything, but this was a time in my life and I have a tattoo of it now. It's just like
Mhm.
he experienced that. He grew with that person. He became, he learned about himself and he grew and now he has this tattoo and you constantly nitpicking him about it and being like, "Why do
Yeah.
you still have that? Why do you still can't you just cover it up already? Why do you still have it?" Like,
I would really love to hear from him his perspective on the tattoo because some of the things do make me think like, okay, it was for the ex, just with him being like, yeah, like seemingly willing to cover it up, but wanting time to pick an appropriate cover up, which is totally reasonable.
right?
But it does seem like, unlike some of these stories where people are like, I don't like my boyfriend's tattoo, at least he seems open to changing it. So it seems like maybe it doesn't have the emotional attachment. It is just like, yeah, I got this for an ex, or it was a thing I did. Um, but I just, her constantly bringing it up and then acting like he doesn't have a right to take himself on vacation and hang out with his friends until he covers. That's his money, bitch. That ain't your money.
Right?
He can do what the fuck he
No,
wants with it.
it's not your money. It's not your body.
Mhm.
So either accept him as he is or go be with somebody else.
Yeah. If
Like,
he is willing to cover it up, great. That means you guys are kind of on the same page. Maybe it is a cringe memory for him too, right? Like, I had one of those tattoos that was like, oh my God, I was so stupid. I got it when I was 18 and it was about an ex. And it was like,
mm,
I'm going to get this to remind myself to never have a shitty relationship like that again. And then what it ended up being was me looking at it and being like, why the fuck did I get a reminder of my shitty relationship on my body? I don't need a physical reminder to never do that again. Um,
yeah.
but I got it removed, like lasered, not covered
Hmm.
up. And
Yeah.
like that is an option for him. If especially if he wants like some sort of nice intricate cover up laser, if it's a small simple bug, laser might be cheaper.
Yeah. It's on his wrist and it's
Yeah.
just a little, it's like the size of, I'm assuming, like a dollar
That's
coin or
what I was
something.
picturing too. It might be a big ass intricate bug, but I feel like she said it was a tiny bug.
Yeah. It's a tiny thing on his wrist that's not even the size of a dollar.
What are you doing? Oh, weirdo.
Half the half the size of a dollar. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know, like that big?
If she's American, that
Like,
might be a dollar bill.
but still,
But still,
that would
it's
be
not a
like,
big tattoo. Yeah, he could get it lasered.
no,
If he's not sure about what he wants as a cover up or something, maybe getting it lasered would be
right?
better. Probably cheaper too. But like, yeah, her being like, how could he go to California and spend money when he said he needed that for the to save for the cover up? You don't know what kind of cover up he might want. That might be like an intense thing. And also, he has the right to take as much time as he wants to choose what tattoo he's getting permanently put on his body.
Right? And then also, he wants to make sure that it's something for him and not for you
Yeah, not for another
because
potential ex.
I'm sorry, yes, you guys have been friends since middle school, but how you're acting, it probably gives him second thoughts about
Yeah.
being with you, and that's why he's like, "I'm gonna go hang out with the boys, because the boys don't bother me about this shit."
Yeah. And I mean, if he's living in Florida and his friends are from California, it sounds like maybe he's originally from Cali or something.
Yeah,
If all of his friends live out there, I don't know. Maybe they're online friends, but like he probably misses them. You think he doesn't have
yeah.
a right to go and see the people that he cares for? Like, that's just insane to me. That's insane.
Oh, no, she's
Mhm.
super controlling, and I couldn't. I literally would just be like, "Suck it up. We're done talking about this,
Mhm.
or go away." Like, those are your options.
Okay, buddy. It's very warm, and you're very warm. Thank you. Um,
Like, so
I'm trying to think how I would feel because obviously with the BPD brain, I am a lot more insecure and emotional. I have a lot of mental breakdowns. And if my partner, because he has a lot of random little tattoos that are weird to me because they're like, interesting. Um, if he had one where he was like, oh yeah, this was for an ex, I would be a little like, I don't like that. I definitely
Huh.
would have that like I would have a lot of questions, right? I would be like, why did you get one tattoo for one ex? What was special about that ex? What happened? What is the story about this tattoo? Like, why don't you have a tattoo for each ex then? You know,
Yeah,
like,
like, you would ask more questions as to the
yeah.
meaning of it and why, and because you never know, what if that's the ex that he was, like, so in love with, and then she ended up dying, or he was in love with her, and then, she ends up cheating on him, or there's
Yeah.
just, like
There's got
there's
like
so
I would need
many.
to know the story. But
Yeah,
also we're 35 and this guy is, like, 23, so he might
yeah,
only have 1 ex, like, 1 relationship
right?
before this girl versus, I would be like, "Well, what about all your other ones?" And
Yeah,
because of the way my BPD works and the way my desire for connection works with my partner, if that was like I had this relationship and she passed away and it was horrible and I couldn't date that person
aw.
because I would
No?
always feel like I am a consolation prize.
No.
I
Like,
know logically why you're saying no, that doesn't change how it feels
yeah,
for me. Like,
no.
I would not be
This
able to be with that person. I cannot be speak of the devil. I cannot be with the person who has the one that got away. I cannot.
well, I mean, she she kinda died.
I just have this thing with the BPD, right? It's like I need to
Mm,
have the connection where it feels like we are soulmates. We are destined to be together. Or else
yeah.
it feels like I'm settling.
Aw.
And I just want to be that top spot, not the like consolation prize, not the like, oh yeah, well, if it hadn't died, we'd have stayed together. It's just a
Mhm.
thing for me. I understand that most
Fair.
people probably don't feel like that, but for me, that's like a non-negotiable.
Aw.
hmm But
Fair.
yeah, we don't know the actual story of this tattoo. We know what a jealous girlfriend is telling the internet about this tattoo.
Right?
Also, I want to know what kind of bug it is.
Yeah. It's like, so I've been scrolling through. She responds every once in a while, but her
Okay,
responses are just uh
not
like,
great.
you know, you're the asshole. He has the tattoo. He has the tattoo when you got with him and now you want him to remove it. Her, I don't I didn't know it was for his ex when I saw it. For context, him and his ex and him had a very toxic relationship. He claims to have nothing left for her. Uh that context doesn't matter. It's his tattoo. Stop.
Mhm.
Um, you're you're the controlling asshole. His body, his choice. You need to grow up and get over it. Everyone has a past. You knew he had it, and you started when you started dating with him. And she's like, "So I didn't know he got it for his ex before I got with him. He told me after the fact. But you guys were friends since middle school,
Yeah, clearly not that close of friends
right?"
in that time. If the so because to me, I can understand the jealousy, right?
Mm,
Loud motorcycle. I can understand why she would feel that way because I would probably feel the same, especially if it's like a singular tattoo for a singular relationship. I would also have that like I am not like this makes me feel a bad way every time I see it, just so you know. It does. And
mm,
because he seems to be willing to alter the tattoo, I'm a little bit less like she's the asshole. I just wish we could hear from him too.
mm,
Right? Because I would love to understand from his perspective. Because if he is like, yeah, it was a stupid mistake tattoo, I don't mind changing it. I just want to make sure the next tattoo is not a stupid mistake. So I'm wanting to take a lot of time to choose the cover up. That's
right?
completely reasonable. And then I would understand her, like she's still an asshole for how much pressure she's putting on for not understanding that he is totally allowed to spend his money how he wants and go on a fucking vacation if he wants.
Mhm.
But at least it wouldn't make her as controlling if I knew that he was like, "Yeah, yeah, I want this removed too." Like,
You also
there's
have
too much
to
context missing.
also think about it too, so, like, when you're doing a cover-up, if it's a really dark let's say it's a really dark piece,
Mhm.
a cover-up is going to not really sit correctly unless you pretty much do almost like a blackout, so
Yeah.
he is gonna have to first figure out what kind of piece he wants, then he's gonna probably have to do some laser, which is expensive,
What I was
and
getting was
depending on
done
how
in
many
Edmonton on my, wrist tattoo here that still needs, like, one
Mhm.
more done. It
Yeah.
was, $150 per laser
Mm,
session. Like,
yeah.
it's pretty real and I need 3
So
total.
yeah. So it's like
Mhm.
he needs to probably like do maybe some laser to lighten it up. And then he has to figure out what piece he wants. What if he wants a whole sleeve thing done?
Mhm.
And so he has to find a designer to like somebody to design the whole thing, price that out. Like it's a process
Mhm.
to do all that. One person was so funny. If people's history is going to bother you, date virgins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. To me, less about the history. Like again, if this was my partner, and
Mm,
the explanation after I asked, like, "Can you explain more about this tattoo, please?" was like, we had a super toxic relationship, and this was a stupid mistake. All of
mm,
my jealousy about that tattoo would be gone.
percent.
Yeah, I would
Like,
be like, "Oh,
oh,
no worries. I get that."
yeah. Like for him, he literally even from her own words, they very toxic relationship, he has nothing left. He claims in her words, he claims to have nothing left for her. Okay, but he literally said it was a toxic relationship. He
Yeah.
doesn't he has no feelings for her anymore. It's literally there at one point he'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Why are you dwelling on his toxic relationship?
This is just another example of, like, where I have to remind myself that these are 23-year-olds. This is probably their, like,
Yep,
first, second relationship each, like, might be her first, definitely his at least second, where it's like they just
yep.
have a lot of emotional maturing to do, probably both of them, because it sounds like his communication is shit. Just the way that she says when anyone asks him about it, he will just freeze.
Well, that's probably because she's there.
Probably, but that also probably means his communication is not great, right? Like,
Like, he's just like, "Oh, fuck, now if I say no matter what I say, she's gonna get in a fight with me about it later."
yeah. But what he
Like,
should be doing is
yeah.
should, but, like, what would probably help diffuse that entire situation if he was like, Yeah, it's a stupid mistake tattoo I got when I was young for an ex, and don't
right?
ever do that. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get
Right?
it covered up. And like,
Kind of make a joke out of it, more or
yeah,
less. Just
like
like,
yeah, make fun of your life choices a little bit because it is a stupid.
yeah. You're like, it's my reminder to never get stupid tattoos.
I like that one. You have
It's
any
my
stupid
reminder to
tattoo?
stupid tattoo.
You have any tattoo you don't like? You hate them all? Okay. He has one that, as Westerners, you'll find quite funny too, because he doesn't have the male symbol to go with the female one. He just has the female.
Love it. Yeah, because women are awesome and he wants to attract women.
Oh, because you like women. You like women, yeah. And his hometown, he got in English, "bana," which every time I see, I just go,
Aw.
"banana."
Yeah.
But most of his tattoos are very cool. None of these are for an
Right?
ex-girlfriend? Any of these for ex-girlfriend? Good. No stupid tattoos here.
There you go. But well, now you're the one being toxic. Instead of letting it go, you act like a jealous shrew when somebody asks about it, making it a way bigger deal than it otherwise would be. Getting a tattoo removed is painful and expensive, and he shouldn't have to do it to prove his love or whatever. It'd be easier for him to remove you from his life.
Woof. Woof.
It's true. She's
Woof.
the one that points it out every time. And she's saying it's super catty and bitchy.
Yeah,
Like,
because the
she
way
is.
she's
She's
written
23.
this is catty.
No, she's being a terrible, horrible person. And instead of just letting it go, she's just being super jealous and being a shrew. She's being a shrew.
Shrew is a great word for it. I assume all of
Love
the
it.
comments are kinda like, "You're a fucking douche canoe."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think only 2 people agreed with her, but it's like,
The
I
mentally
think she
ill are
said,
agreeing with her.
uh, there you go. You're not the asshole for feeling weird about your boyfriend having a tattoo of his ex. It's totally normal. Tattoos do last forever, even if it's just a memory. It's fair to want to feel like you're not sharing the person with some lingering symbol of a past relationship.
See, I do get that. And that's very well
Mm,
worded. Like, just, like,
yeah.
the way they use the symbology and it, the lingering. Oh, it's very nicely worded. I get it,
Yeah.
but the way she's going about it, it makes her a dick. Like, if she
Yeah.
had voiced her
Oh,
concern in a mature way where she was like, "Look, I'm sorry. I know it's your tattoo in your body, but every time I see it, it just gives me bad feelings." It's just not, and would you be willing to cover it up? What would you like, if she had done it that way, and then instead of putting weird pressure on him and not wanting him to go visit his friends, if she had just like helped him choose a cover up and work through this,
mm-hmm.
she could have come out on top, but instead she's being a douche.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why are you trying to bite me? Is it because he came downstairs and you're angry that he's sitting here? When he was up on my lap, a few minutes ago, didn't
Yeah.
try to bite me at all, very calm, very nice. Now that he's here, it's just chomp, 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 chomp.
Love bites. Nom, nom,
I
nom.
know they're love bites. I still don't like them. You gotta go down because you're a douche. You want me to cover my tattoos. Fighting me. He doesn't want to go down. He's doing like fucking bunny kicks to pedal backwards as I try to put him on the floor.
Ah,
Oh, okay. All right. Next story.
okay. Am I an asshole for hanging out with my ex whilst my boyfriend stayed home with the kids?
That's a tough one to read off to start. X is in quotations, right? I read the title. My
Yeah.
ex.
Ex whilst my boyfriend stayed at home with the kids.
All right.
I know.
I'm reserving all judgment until I hear more. the quotations on X that got me thrown off.
Right?
Continue.
I'm a 24 female with a 26 male boyfriend. We've known each other since I was 15, so he was 17, and we're part of a toxic friend group, but he distanced himself from that life. I still see 4 of them occasionally for meetups, just beer, YouTube, or shows. I don't drink much, and I go home almost sober.
Okay.
Okay. We live together with our 4-month-old baby and my 3-year-old from a previous relationship. He considers him his son, and they are very close.
Okay.
I handle most household and parenting tasks, breastfeeding, cleaning, potty training, while he's more the fun parent, keeping the kids entertained.
Typical.
He helps, yeah, right? He helps if asked, but often feels bombarded with tasks. He also spends a few nights a week at his mom's place to get some space, which is fine since I like alone time too.
Okay, but he sounds awful. Continue.
Recently, my friends invited me over. My boyfriend declined my invitation to join. It's been over a year since I saw them last, and I needed a break after dealing with the 3-year-old's chest infection and caring for our baby. I asked my boyfriend if he could watch the kids overnight, and while he agreed, he seemed bothered. I told him I wouldn't go if he didn't want me to, but he insisted. For context, one of the friends is someone I dated for 2 weeks when I was 13.
Okay.
I don't consider him an ex, and my boyfriend met him through me. Or no, met me through him.
Okay.
Before leaving, I prepped everything. I put my 3-year-old to bed. I left milk for the baby, detailed instructions on feeding and changing him. I even made lasagna for dinner.
She needed to leave instructions on feeding and changing his own child.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
Okay. At my friend's house, my boyfriend called 24 times over 3 to 4 hours, asking basic questions like how to heat milk and where are the nappies, things he already knows. It was embarrassing as my friend gave me odd looks. When I got home, I asked him why he didn't just say he was uncomfortable with me going. He admitted he felt weird about me hanging out with my ex, but didn't want to seem controlling.
He's cheating on her.
Yeah, right? I pointed out he's never had an issue before, and I could have arranged alternative childcare. He got upset, saying it made him feel like a bitch that I left him with the kids while I go hang out with some friends, someone I briefly dated over a decade ago. He called me an asshole and left to stay at his mom's.
Throw
I'm
the whole man away.
confused, right? I'm confused because he's never acted like this before. I don't think I did anything wrong. I don't want to make him look bad in front of my friends. Am I the asshole?
Girl. I swear to God, the bar is so low. The bar is so low that this girl legitimately speaks about this man like he is a good partner.
Right?
She is excusing all of his horrific behavior and being like, but that's okay. And then I did this and this and this. And he complains, but that's okay. No, that's not like, well, why are you settling for this?
Right? So she's only ever posted this. In her comments, read the comments when I said we talked and it had nothing to do with my friends, but he was struggling with his new role as a parent. And we haven't even been on many dates recently, laughing my ass off. My boyfriend has never once suspected anything. He says, we really open our boundaries, really open within our boundaries, which is why this is out of character. He's always been comfortable with my friends, with the 4 men, because he's seen firsthand how we interact with each other and how it's completely platonic. They're not my side dudes. They're my friends. 3 of them have girlfriends. 1 is gay. If that's what you think your partner's doing around your friends of the opposite sex, you need therapy. Entertaining four dudes at once is generally crazy. Oh. Oh, okay. So you are precise with your words. It wasn't a sleepover because you wouldn't be sleeping. I understand, so does your boyfriend. I asked my boyfriend if he could watch the kids overnight, and he agreed but seemed bothered. So you knew at that point you were going out with a male friend, male who's not your boyfriend, to a private place to drink and stay long enough to be sober before you got home. You knew your boyfriend assumed the private place was a bedroom, but didn't care what he thought. You like to say your date was someone from 11 years in the past, but you also said these drinking nights with the date have been ongoing more than once a year the whole time you've been with your boyfriend since before. He might he might have been wrong, but you knew, especially after his phone calls, you're making him a cuckold. He could picture the men in his head all banging you. Your side dudes are good fun.
Oh, this is
This
some
man is
fucking
terrible.
incel shit. Jesus.
Like,
The
first of
fantasies
all,
these incels make up about what women do.
flat out, men and women can be friends.
Yeah, easily.
I don't understand why people think men and women can't be friends. I have a lot of guy friends. I have never slept with them. I have never made out with them. I don't feel anything other than actual friendship with them.
It's
That's it,
the only people who think like that are men who don't see women as people. They don't have any female friends
right?
because they don't actually value women as people in the same way they value men. They only
Yeah,
see women as potential sex objects, and that's why they think like that. Normal people
yep,
who value women as humans totally have female friends. Normal men, I
yep,
should say. Women are also people. God, I did it too.
yeah. And
Yeah.
part of me thinks, like, and she kind of said it too, a lot of it was just for him, like, what is it? What is it called? Where it's like, uh, they're doing, they know how to do the thing, but they're pretending they don't know how to do the thing
Weaponized
to
incompetence.
yes, there you go. That's what it literally feels like. It feels like
Yeah.
he's like she asked him, first of all, "Do you wanna come with me? Do you wanna come hang out with these guys that you
Yeah.
know? You know all 4 of these men."
Yeah, I obviously, my alarm bell was immediately triggered that he's cheating on her because everything she said is like, "This is weird and out of the blue behavior from him from people I have hung out with multiple times before." And to me, that immediately triggers like a, yeah, that's how people who are cheating on their partner suddenly act. That's just how they do.
Well, especially he blew up at her and then went to his mom's.
His mom's, where he goes multiple times a week, yeah. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
only other potential I see there is that he's getting red pilled by this kind of
Oh, yeah.
incel shit, and it got into his head because I see that happening more and more with, like, Reddit relationship posts where the woman's like, "Suddenly my
Oh,
boyfriend is acting like an incel." Yeah.
yeah. Um, we talked a bit and he says he's feeling quite insecure in the moment. He says it's difficult because he's worried we aren't spending too much time alone together and I'm a bit cranky at the end of the day. First of all, she has a is it 6 month, 4 month old baby. She still literally has postpartum possible depression. She has to take care of 3-year-old and a 6 year and a 3-year-old and a 6 or 4 month
4 month
old.
old, yeah.
She's nursing.
Mhm.
She's tired. She got to take like she
And
just
he is
needs to go out.
not picking up half of the slack at all.
No, no.
Yeah.
Like, he's literally not wanting to do anything at home, so she has to do all the cleaning, all the cooking, take care of the kids. The poor little 3-year-old just had a cold. You want her to be bubbly and happy? Maybe help out with the dishes, help out with the laundry,
And the
make
way she
dinner.
says he will only she's the way she says he does stuff if she asks him to means he will only do stuff if you specifically say, "Hey, do this, this, and this." He will never take any
Yeah,
initiative.
no.
And he still says he gets overwhelmed by the amount of tasks, which is weaponized incompetence, which is what he's doing to you. He's trash, throw him
Mhm.
away, or maybe potentially give him, if you really want to salvage the relationship, you do have a 4-month-old together. Give him a fucking ultimatum of like, stop being trash or we done.
Well, you could also be like, okay, you like staying at your mom's house a lot. Why not take the 3-year-old? You say he's your son. Why not give me
Yeah.
a break? I could just have the baby. You take the 3-year-old to grandma's.
And the way he's like, we haven't been spending much alone time together. You have a 4-month-old. Of course you haven't. That's what a baby
Yeah.
does to things.
And that's the thing, is because he was never there for the 3-year-old,
Yeah.
right? When the 3-year-old was a little baby, now it's like, okay, now he actually sees when you have a baby, you have no sleep. You
Mhm.
you barely get to shower unless your partner lets you like takes the baby
Helps
and you can
you.
go
Yeah.
shower.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you're exhausted, you're tired. You're lucky if you can sleep. Like my friend's going through it, like she was going through it all last year. But it's basically like she's like, you have to sleep when the baby sleeps. But if I do that, I don't eat enough because she's nursing. So you have to make sure as soon as the baby goes to sleep, you're feeding yourself. And then it's like, okay, now I can go take a nap. Oh, now the baby's up again. Okay, baby's back down. I could eat again or I could sleep. Well, I have to eat. I can't, like, it's a terrible cycle. Like, what are you doing?
You have to
He
make sure
doesn't,
your partner is pulling their weight, like, and actually helping
right?
you. It's just
Yeah.
it's a rough situation. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I gotta make sure you choose the right partner, which I get, people are young, things happen, you end up having kids. Like, I'm not like victim blaming for choosing the wrong
Oh,
partner, but like, man, we just gotta raise our standards for these men because they are in the dirt.
it's just like you will, as a brand new parent, you're never fully rested ever
Yeah.
until they're like, what, 5 when they're going to school?
Yeah.
Like,
Oof.
you're gonna be tired for years. And it's just like, "Why don't you go out with me?"
Ow.
Would you
Yeah.
right?
You think the baby
Like,
can watch itself?
you think the 3-year-old can watch the little 4-month-old? Yeah, that'll be great.
Just
Like,
give
come
them both
on.
some, like, open electrical sockets with wires sticking out, they'll be fine. I assume Reddit is like, "Girl, please."
Um, yeah, pretty much not the asshole. The fact that he's even still characterized someone you dated for 2 weeks at the age of 13 as an ex to be jealous of is weird as fuck to me and reeks of something else going on.
Yup.
You you did a lot of work before going and you need breaks sometimes, which it sounds like he has plenty of.
Yep.
He could have better communicated, and that fact calling you constantly thing he knows is ridiculous. Also, him thinking taking care of his kids makes him a little bitch is cringy as fuck. They're his kid. Like, well, the one is his
Yeah.
kid, the one he's adopted.
Yeah.
It really seems like he wants to effectively control you without seeming controlling, and it's really immature at this age. This person screams, "I'm having an affair, so I accuse her of to make me look better."
Mhm, 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 mhm.
Yep, yep, yep. Not the asshole. Well, bless his little cotton socks for having to play a parental role. We've all been there, and yeah, being a dad doing daddy duties away from the fun stuff is really hard, but he needs to get used to it as he can't expect you to do everything. I would have loved to play a major part in the upbringing of my son when he was a baby. It's just that I had to ask permission, of which in most cases was a no, or if she did let me, she would come over and monitor.
Hmm.
Breaking up was amazing because I could finally be a dad. Aw. Anyways, moving on. You were barely a teenager when you dated this boy, and it was for 2 weeks, and now he's being a crybaby about it. The boy needs to grow up.
Yes. Yeah. I
Yep.
I hope he has
Yep.
gotten some therapy, and I
Yep.
hope she's putting her foot down a bit more, and getting some fucking help.
Well, that's the thing. It's just like, come help me.
Yeah.
Or, if you have a decent relationship with his mom, fine. When you go over to your mom's place, can your mom come over here? Can she play with the grandbaby?
Why, like, go to your mom's place and take the fucking kids. Give her some
Well,
real alone
exactly.
time. 50-50
Exactly.
that fucking alone time.
Right? Because the thing is, if they end up breaking up, then she's going to be like, fine, 1 week on, 1 week off.
Yeah. Yeah,
Here's the
have
kid for a
fun.
week. You
You
get the
know,
kid for the entire week.
all those things that you
Let's see how
couldn't handle
tired.
doing.
Yeah, exactly. So no, you got to take responsibility for your semen there, sir.
For your
Like
semen demons.
for your semen demons, you got to take some responsibility there. All right. This one I thought was just hilarious. The user
Okay.
is deleted, but
Huh?
I just love it so much. This was so funny.
Okay.
Am I the asshole for telling my girlfriend I don't want to be the little spoon because it makes me feel weak?
These boys and their fragile ass masculinity. I carry on.
I
Carry
I
on.
want to say first, I love being the big spoon.
Me too. I love
I
to
love
put
it
your arm around and hug.
because my autism, if somebody is
No.
breathing on me or breathing into my ear, I literally cannot. So the only way I can be the little spoon is if I'm way up high and they're here, or
If they
I'm
put the
way
pillow
down low
Mhm.
and they're here. That way they're not breathing on me.
What if they put the pillow up and they kind of point their face up so the breath is going away? Never tried
As
that?
long as there's no breath on me,
Yeah.
I'm good. But the second
Hmm.
they're breathing on me, I can't.
I think I prefer being the big spoon because I'm a little like fidgety.
Yeah,
Yeah, and when I'm the little spoon, it's like, "Oh, your arm isn't in the perfect place. Let me just move it 3,000 times." And then they
yeah.
move a little bit, and I'm like, "Damn it, it's in the uncomfortable spot again." I just have this issue though where I don't like my floating ribs touched.
Fair.
Yeah. Any
That's fair.
pressure on them, I feel like mine are just connected more loose or something. Because any pressure on them, it feels like they're being pushed down into me, and I'm like, no, up."
Eh, no,
Yeah.
no.
I also like being
That
big
sounds
spoon because
terrible.
I love to just do the hugging and just fucking squeeze, you
Squeeze.
know?
Yeah.
But
Okay.
anyway, what's he saying?
Hey, I, 26 male, have been
Mhm.
with my girlfriend, 24 female, for a few months. She's great, but we had a weird argument the other night that kind of spiraled. She loves being the big spoon when we cuddle. It's her thing. It makes her feel close. I think at first I didn't mind, even though it felt a bit off for me. I didn't say anything because I didn't want to make her feel bad for being sweet. Over time, it started to bother me. Hard to explain, but it makes me feel not myself and weird, like a sort of emasculated or babied in a way that doesn't sit right. Not trying to be macho, like I can't help feeling that. So I brought it up the other night and I said, I love how affectionate she is, but I'd rather cuddle differently. So, like me holding her or something. Tried to say it gentle, but it didn't land well. She kind of got mad and accused me of being caught up in the alpha male shit, which is not true at all. I told her it's not about roles or anything, just that I don't feel comfortable. She said she said I'm tying vulnerability into being less of a man, which she thinks is just toxic. I tried to say it's not about that, just a personal thing, but she felt I rejected her. She felt I was rejecting her way of showing love. I think I might have messed up, but I didn't think sharing a preference would turn into this.
Okay, I've got some thoughts because him trying to pass it off as like, "Oh, I said it so gently and I didn't say anything about it being like alpha male masculinity stuff." No, you already straight up said that's it. You said you feel
Yeah,
emasculated. That's
yeah,
probably exactly what you said to her, which is that stupid toxic alpha male masculinity stuff. Like she's on the nose for being like, you are mixing up vulnerability with like weird toxic masculinity. Like you are.
right?
and that's a you
Like,
problem.
she's literally being like, "I got your back." I had like, "I'm gonna cuddle you. I have your back. If anything happens, I got you, babe." Plus, it's just, I don't know. I love going like this. Like, I always have
Mhm.
squidgy things that I just, that's what makes me feel comfortable. And if I'm the little spoon, I also have to have a pillow here
Mm,
to then have somebody
triple
here.
spoon.
Like, it's, yeah. So I'm like the middle spoon
Yeah.
kind of.
I like yeah, it's a little bit of an awkward thing because you are fine to put down a boundary because it might be it could have easily been something where it's like, I don't know why, but I'm just uncomfortable, not directly tied to like, oh, I feel emasculated. It could have been a physical discomfort of like something about an arm around me, just I can't relax and
Yeah.
I can't sleep. And that, then I would have been 100% on your side.
Oh, 100%.
But being like, I feel like I'm being babied and emasculated is like, oh, you need therapy. Go
Yeah.
to
It's just
therapy.
like, I'm sorry, if somebody's like hugging my back, I'm like, I feel safe, I feel secure, but also if I'm laying there for a long time, I don't feel comfortable. That's why I need a pillow, or we need
Mhm.
to change where I'm the big spoon, right? Like, it's just,
Yeah.
I,
And I
yeah,
understand why
like,
she'd feel rejected because, like, this is a lovely thing that she's been doing with you for an extended period of time that
yeah,
she thought was a thing you enjoyed and was bonding and vulnerable between you. And now you've turned around and been like, yeah, I've never liked that thing that you just love so much. I've never liked that.
hmm,
And it is a rejection, right? Like, this is why the first time you should have been able to be like, "Hey, can we switch off the cuddling? I don't know why I'm just more comfortable with on the big spoon." That would have been fine. But you, like,
yeah,
months later, after she's been doing this consistently, being like, "I feel emasculated." Yeah, she has every right to be like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, like my whole thing, and my partner still can't understand this for some reason. I think it's just because, again, first neurodivergent person he's dated,
Yeah.
is when something starts to bother me, talk about it right away. I don't
Yes.
let it sit
Yes.
and fester in me, because I know it's just going to get worse and worse and worse, and it's going to cause
An
an
explosion.
explosion. It'll definitely cause an autism explosion. Like, I know that. And autism explosions are not fun.
Mhm.
They're not fun for me, they're not fun for anybody. So the second something bothers me, I bring it up right away.
Yeah.
So then he's always confused because the past relationships, they didn't really do that. They didn't
Yeah.
talk about their their like issues and things that were bothering them, and then all of a sudden they'd explode into a massive fight. So I'm just like, I'm content. And when I'm not content, the second something happens I don't like, I immediately am like, okay, let's process it for a sec. Okay, this is what happened. This is why I don't like it. All right. Just a heads up, I didn't like this. This is why.
Mhm.
You know?
Yeah.
Because otherwise, yeah, all of a sudden it's just like, hey, like, if he said now, I don't like being the little spoon now, I'd be just like, okay, why didn't you say anything a year ago?
Yeah. Yeah,
Like,
I would
what's
be
going on in your brain?
offended. I would be hurt, right? I would also feel
Right?
rejected and like, "Oh, I thought that was a nice bonding thing we had together." Um, I like to cuddle, but I also don't like the sweatiness of cuddling, so it's kinda
No,
like a meh, both sides. But
can't
he
do skin
has
on skin.
yeah, if it's cooler, it's okay, but, kinda he has issues with cuddling where pressure for an extended period of time in the same spot will start to be like, "Oh, okay, that's too much. I can't."
Yeah.
The
Yeah, yeah.
autism stuff. And of course, for me, that's like, well, that's a little disappointing because I do like to fall asleep holding hands.
Okay.
Where the bodies are separate, but you can hold hands with your partner and fall asleep that way. And I find that very like sweet and romantic and not sweaty. It's like a good
Hmm.
cuddling mix. But even that, like, he can't keep his arm in that position. He has to move around a bit
Yeah.
more. So it is like a compromise I have to make where it's like, "Ah, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get as much cuddles as I would really, really like." Um,
Hmm.
but in exchange, I make him hug me a lot.
Go.
Mhm. Because
All the
the
hugs.
hugs aren't, like, long enough to give that, like, overstimulation of pressure like a cuddle is, right? So it's
Yeah.
like, oh, and the
Well,
best
that
part is when we ride the motorcycle together and I'm behind him, then I can hug him as much as I want.
But also, hugs are good because it helps calm down the nervous system too, right? Like, it helps release endorphins and oxytocin, and it helps just like a hug just helps calm everything down. So, hugs are very good. It's just sometimes, you're like, okay, that's enough. My autism is just like, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
No more
I
hugging.
think this is something he said is kind of a cultural thing too, though, because I like high pressure hugs. I want a hug that
Oh,
squeezes the love into me, you know? And then, like, a
yeah, like a
good
bear hug.
solid, like, yeah, bear hug, and, yeah, I get that, like, whole body, like, "Oh, I'm safe right now, and I'm calm, and everything's good," and it's wonderful, but for him,
Hmm.
that level of hug feels like aggression, and he says it might be a culture
Aw.
thing. They're not as touchy-feely as we are. They're really not.
Fair. Fair.
So he's like, "That just doesn't feel like a nice hug," like, to them, a very light hug. And to me, it's like, that's not a hug. That's like what I would give to my mom, not my partner, you
Right?
know?
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I want like a. "Urgh."
Yeah,
Like sometimes you just need a good squish.
yeah, I need to be squished. I just feel like I feel so safe and and calm, and especially if it's a little extended. Like, it doesn't have to be forever, but, like, hold me really tight for a solid
Yeah.
extended hug. She's hunting. Mocha has hunted, and she has brought her prey.
Tissue?
Yeah, and nearly
Tissue.
empty. I think there's, like, 2 tissues left in the yeah.
She
Wow,
likes
so
the
successful.
crinkle.
This is her favorite thing to hunt. I have to hide it now. A roll of tape. If it is downstairs,
Aw.
she will hunt it and bring it upstairs. If it's upstairs, she'll hunt it and bring it downstairs. Also,
Aw.
an empty bottle of Advil now for her other huntable. The remote for the fan. Yeah. Um.
Aw.
Mhm.
Little
Anyway,
kitty cat. So cute.
yeah, that's like he
Yeah.
needs therapy. I assume the comments are also like, "Bro, go to therapy."
Um, Looks like we all have some gender notions deeply internalized, and they come out like this sometimes. You can't help that you feel uncomfortable, but this feeling sounds like something you should ideally try to fight. It's a growth opportunity. Also, I think she should be okay with being the big spoon only half the time.
Yeah.
I, I've never been in a relationship where we didn't both spoon in one way or another, men and women both. If you're saying you never want to do the one thing, I'd be pretty sad if I were her. But if you're saying you'd like to sometimes do the other thing and she's rejecting that, then she's being pretty unreasonable herself. I don't think it's a masculine thing at all to be the big spoon. I recommend you work on that. I think it's a pretty fragile thing to reject affection because of the exact shape it takes. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh, you're the asshole, but dig into this. What is it about being held by a woman that makes you feel emasculated? Seriously, why does laying in the arms of your lover make you feel weak? It
Yeah.
sounds to me like you're definitely internalized masculinity buried in there, and you may want to investigate that insecurity. This person, look, I don't like being touched in certain areas, mostly because of past traumas, but sometimes I just don't like the feeling. I don't like it when my puppy licks my hands or when someone touches my forehead, cheeks, and chin, even if it comes from a place of love and affection. Maybe there's no toxicity here. He just finds it weird and doesn't like feeling babied. I think being able to recognize that it makes him feel lesser means he's already investigated and located the why of it all. He just has expressed a preference. In all honesty, he deserves to have it respected. We can't lump everything into internalized masculinity insecurity when it suits us.
He literally said that.
Yep.
I hope somebody
Yep.
responded to that and was like,
Nope.
Did you miss the part where he said emasculated? Which
I can't see I see I can't be the big spoon because I'm 5 foot and my husband is 6 foot and it just feels weird. He likes it, so I try sometimes, but I get it, it feels weird. I don't think you're the asshole. If it feels weird, it just does, regardless of toxic masculinity or whatever she's saying. If you don't like it, you don't have to like it. This person responded to that, we call it the jetpack. I do the same. My spoon just stops at his knees because I'm shorter.
I
It's kind of a 50-50 split,
I get where they're coming from, but he straight up said it makes him feel emasculated and babied. It's not like definite,
right?
like he said that in his post. This isn't her putting words in his mouth. This isn't other
No.
people putting toxic masculinity on that. Like he said some toxic masculinity shit that he needs to unpack. And it's not
Yep.
super high level, right? And I think that's where people get confused because they think toxic masculinity has to be like Andrew Tate level,
Right?
but it's not. It's these little internalized misogyny things, and that's what this is. Like he feels emasculated because he's been put in the woman position, which is bad. That's just internal misogyny. Like that is toxic masculinity. It's just a much smaller version of it. It's not like he's not a horrible person. It's not a huge problem. It's just something he should unpack and work on to be a
Yeah.
better partner moving forward.
I mean, and it could have been something like when he was growing up, his dad never hugged him at all. It
Yeah.
was more like, we're men, we don't hug, we don't talk about our feelings kind of thing, right?
Yeah,
Like, it could have been
there's
something like that.
something there he needs to unpack for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think his
Men should
girlfriend
talk
is
about their
on the
feelings.
money. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I
Talk
think
about
his
your feelings.
girlfriend's on the money. I think she has a right to be offended because especially and the other thing these people are missing when they're like, "You have a right to, how you feel." Like, yeah, obviously, but she's just been rejected and slapped in the face with this like, "Hey, this lovely thing you've been doing that, I pretended to like for like 6 months or whatever." How he said they've been dating. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like that. Can we not do that? That's
Right?
shitty. That's some shitty communication.
Yeah. Terrible communication.
Yeah.
Like, talk about it when it bothers you, right when it bothers you. Hey,
Mhm.
this is bothering me. Can we talk about it?
Yeah. You could have given it a few
Don't-
chances, but like months and months? That's not like
Yeah.
that's not like a sorry, it feels uncomfortable and I don't know why, like a body thing. That's that's weird. That's like no,
Yeah.
physically you're okay with it or else you would have not been able to tolerate it months ago. You just have this
Hmm.
weird internalized like I'm not a baby. I'm not a baby.
Right?
Why should treat me like a baby? Like these are his words. Babied and emasculated are his words. So
Yep.
like people are just missing that, I think. And yeah, it's just not overt enough toxicity. I think where people are like sliding by that.
Mhm.
Although, like, I mean, I understand kind of like lashing out when you're hurt and rejected, but she definitely could have handled it better, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
She
like
could have handled that better.
we're all not perfect. He doesn't sound like a terrible partner, to be honest. It sounds like he
No.
just has this small bit of like internalized misogyny, toxic masculinity that he should go to therapy and unpack. And then maybe she
Yep.
should also get some therapy to work on her rejection issues. Or maybe they could just talk like adults and figure this out together. And, you know,
It's just like, if you can't talk about it, then you definitely need therapy. If you can't just sit down and have an honest conversation with your partner without getting like angry and super defensive, if you can't word why you're feeling that way, I
mhm,
don't know.
mhm, mhm.
Yep.
I
All right.
think we only have time for one more.
Okay. Am I the asshole for breaking up with my girlfriend because of her male coworkers?
Probably, but go on.
I told my girlfriend I wasn't comfortable with her being close to her male coworkers. She has a lot of male coworkers and only a few female ones. I've brought it up multiple times, even though I trust her. Oh, even though I trusted her, I was still uncomfortable with how close she was to so many of them, especially since she has the option to work from home and rarely needs to go to the office. Previously, She hardly went in, but recently she's been going to the office every day, even though she told me she doesn't have much work to do. Last night, she went to a futsal, Futsal, futsal,
So
futsal game with her coworkers. She told me it was mandatory, but I was skeptical. A couple of her female coworkers didn't go, which made me question it even more. So this morning, I broke up with her. I told her I couldn't take it anymore and that it was clear she was hiding something. She cried and said she wouldn't go to the office every day anymore, but I just said no and told her I hated her.
this
I
has to be
believe
rage
I did the
bait.
right I believe I did the right thing, but somehow I still feel bad for breaking up with her.
I feel like this is rage bait. The whole like, and I told her I hated her is just like, this is just rage bait, I think. I don't, that triggers me because it's like, that, I mean, that triggers my like bullshit detector that this story is a made up rage bait thing. Because that's too asshole that no one would, like, no normal human would be like, and then I just told her I hated her and I think I did the right thing.
I uh I don't think it's rage bait. You're the asshole. You're controlling and insecure. When women have standards and boundaries, it's okay, but for men, it's insecure. That was him.
I still think it's rage bait. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I do. It gives that. Either way, like, she dodged a bullet. Like, I'm very, very happy you broke up with her because she can find someone fucking normal now.
What's the boundary? Requiring her to work from home or to not talk to male coworkers is not. It's not a boundary. That's not healthy. Boundaries refer to the limits and guidelines individuals have about themselves. Boundary setting is about fostering clear, respectful communication between individuals. While it does involve def- defining and expressing personal limits and needs, but without undermining the other person's emotional expression. In terms of a romantic relationship, it helps promote respect and healthier relationships, with aims to create a balance where both parties' perspectives and emotions are acknowledged. You did not do this. His response, of course a woman would defend her. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah, this is just a rage bait incel. This is just somebody like rage baiting. Yeah, that's it. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna dignify
he's
him with more of a response than that because that is just like, this is a made up story. You didn't have a girlfriend. You're angry at some girl and you've made up some story where you took revenge on a girl for doing nothing wrong and then she cried and you went, I hate you. And now you're just
yeah,
being angry at women in the comments. I'm not, I don't believe it. My button is
because
bullshit.
first of all, if you go to work, you have to interact with everybody at work. Unless your job is where it's only women
Mhm.
everywhere, you're like in any, especially in a male dominated industry, let's say like any computer science stuff or, some type of, well, here there's so many oil rigs and heavy duty mechanic stuff
Yeah.
and there's the receptionists and everything, but there's you know, a lot of dudes there. There's not a lot of women.
Yeah. And
Who is she? But
like him being like, she could just stay home. It's like maybe she wants to have a fucking social life of some kind. Cause it sounds like she's
Mhm.
probably not allowed to. Like, if this was a real story, which it isn't.
Yeah,
I swear it isn't. Um, then if it was a real story, he's definitely not allowing her to go out and have friends and have a social life. So this is
nope.
her only chance at
It,
a social life. And
hmm
maybe, yeah, like coworkers were all going to a football game, and so she was like, "Oh, well, it's a chance for me to go do something outside of work and home. That
right?
sounds great." Like, either way, this imaginary woman dodged a bullet from this horrible man.
Horrible
But
man.
yeah, it's horrible. But another thing that triggers me into thinking this is some like neckbeardy incel fanfic is the way he
Mm.
wrote football as Fußball and
Yeah, it was
not even
weird.
in the correct way. Like, he didn't use the
It was
German, like,
weird.
special S that means to
Oof.
it. Like, he didn't it's just he just wrote
Yeah,
about a sport in a way that, like, neckbeard people use to make fun of sports and to, like, degrade sports.
yeah.
Yeah.
No. Terrible human. Terrible,
Yeah,
terrible, terrible human.
terrible human. Let's
Nope.
quickly do the girl code one as a palate cleanser after that, because fuck that one.
Oh, okay.
Knock it out quickly.
All right. Am I the asshole for breaking girl code and swooping in to steal the guy my friend likes?
Maybe.
One of my friends, Katie, has had a huge crush on a guy in our friend group, Mike, for a few months. She confided in me, but made me promise not to tell him. Despite her feelings, she hasn't told him yet, even as Mike has started going on dates with other girls. A few days ago, we received a group text from Mike saying he wasn't feeling well. After work, I decided to go check up on him and texted Mike to see if he needed anything. He asked for a cup of peppermint tea. I dropped it off at his place, and when I arrived, I found him on the couch in the living room, which pulled out like a bed. He was watching TV wrapped in an electric blanket. I sat down with him, and he was shivering from the flu, so I wrapped my arm around him for warmth. It had been a long day at work for me, and with the heat from the blanket, we both fell asleep. I woke up a few hours later and found Mike spooning me. Realizing it was too late for me to drive home, I asked Mike if there was anything I could wear to bed. He handed me one of his t-shirts and a pair of shorts. He's much taller than me, so his pajama pants would have been way too long. Now here's where I may be the asshole. Instead of taking the spare bedroom, I crawled back into bed with Mike and continued to spoon him. The next morning, he asked me out, and I said yes.
These people must be very young.
I would assume so.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume. Why didn't you be like, if you knew she liked her, if you knew she liked him, why didn't you be like, hey, Mike's really sick. Why not after work? Ask him
Yeah.
if he needs anything. Like,
Mm-hmm.
be a good wingman, right? But
Mm-hmm.
instead, you message him yourself. You go over to his place. You snuggle with him. And then instead of going home, you put on his clothes and then snuggle with him some more.
Also, I'm maybe I'm the weirdo here, but I don't fucking snuggle with sick people. I want to get sick.
No,
Yeah. I'll bring you
I don't
something,
know.
but I won't even sit on the couch with you. I'll just be like, okay, here's your peppermint tea. I'm gonna wash my hands
Yeah,
and go. Let me know if you need anything else. Love you. Bye, mama. Okay, bye. Like,
yeah. Like,
this is not
you know,
kissing. Yeah.
bring like some soup. I'll bring you some
Yeah.
soup, some Kleenexes, some like really oniony, garlicky soup to like
Mhm.
get all the shit out of you. And then be like, okay, here's some elderberry tea because it's really good for phlegm. And then here's some Buckley's pills. Like,
Yeah.
here, there you
Like,
go.
even leave it
And
outside of your door instead of like coming in because I don't want to get sick. But
right, but you
I
come in and snuggle.
yeah. I do think she definitely kind of betrayed her friend, but also there's that part of me of like, well, people don't own each other. If you liked him too and he liked you, that's fine to date. But you probably should have like when your friend was like, "Oh, I really like him," you probably should have been like, "Me too." Like put that out
Right?
there, you know?
Like,
Yeah.
set some expectations because now she's going to be like, I told you I liked him. You never told me you liked him. And now you're dating him. We are no longer friends. Like,
Yeah. Like, you didn't steal him from her because he did not belong to
no,
her, right? He never
no,
asked her out. She never made a move. It has been
no.
months. Like, okay. But
Hmm.
also, you could have been a better friend for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. So the comments are, you're most likely going to lose your friendship over Mike. I hope he was worth it. It's one thing to fall asleep together by accident, quite another to purposely share a bed and continue to spoon each other. I don't really hold all those I say dibs first rules, but I don't think I would ever have chosen the same actions you did after waking up.
Yeah.
And she's like, I really don't want to lose her as a friend. We've known each other for a few years now.
Too bad. Like, you did betray her a bit. Like, even,
Yeah.
yeah, like, she doesn't own this person. She doesn't have rights to this person. She has a right to not be your friend. Like,
Well, exactly. Like, bros before hoes all the way. So shitty of you going after the guy your friend said she liked. If you liked him too, it could have been talked about. If I
Yep.
was her, I'd drop you as a friend. I hope he was worth it.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
Yep. No, everybody is like, can't believe you needed to post this to know what you did wrong. You're just messy.
Yeah. Yeah, she does seem messy.
my
Yeah.
my favorite. Weren't you worried about getting sick?
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but no, if I know it, like, if I had this idea, oh, I should really bring this person food. Wait a minute. This person really likes this person and she needs to find a way to, get in. Then I'll be like, hey,
Also, like, okay, he's part of your friend group. He was in the group chat, sure. So it's not like unreasonable to be like, hey, do you want me to drop something off? But the coming in and choosing to put your arm around him on the couch is weird. It also gives
right,
me a little bit of like this girl just kind of wanted to see if he would choose her. Like maybe she didn't really like him, but she has that like, well, let's see if he'll go for me
yep,
kind of like in because she's like, well, I don't want to lose the friend, but she didn't actually say in the story, I liked Mike too, but I never told her. It seems more like she just was there and she's like, oh, let's see if this will happen. Like not,
and the fact
yeah,
that he asks her out and she's like, yeah, sure, that'd be great. Like,
yeah. She
what do
also
you,
had every opportunity while alone with him, because maybe they've only hung out as a group before, but now she's alone with him. She had every opportunity to be like, "Hey, just so you know, so and so really likes you. Like, are you interested in her at all? Because maybe you should ask her out
right?
if you are, but if you aren't, it's fine." Like she could have, yeah, she could have been a better friend. But
Yep. No, terrible friend.
mhm.
Like, that's the girl that you don't want to be friends with. That's not a girl's girl. That's like a terrible friend.
I had a
No.
friend once, because I moved away at 16, but I moved back to my hometown
Mm,
area at 18 to get back on my feet. Because living on your own
yeah.
at 16 is not great. And,
Mm,
I didn't live with my parents, I just moved to the town, like, adjacent to where I grew up in the countryside out of town, right?
yeah.
And I made some friends, and everybody was going out and partying a lot because it's, 18, 19-year-olds, and the drinking age in Alberta is 18 for anyone who didn't know that. So,
Mm,
everyone was going out, and I met this guy who was, like, 27, I was 18, he was gorgeous. It was like, "Oh my god, this is the most beautiful
mm.
man in our small town." And him and I ended up dating on and off for a couple years, super like not committed, like kind of toxic back and forth.
Yeah.
And this one friend of mine, when she found out I liked him, his name was Brian. I can't remember her name. I wasn't friends with her for a long time. She was like, "Oh, him and I usually walk home together after the bar because we live like literally across the street from each other, and he walks me home for safety. Why don't I walk home with him tonight and ask him and see if he likes you? Because like I'd kind of like hung out with him, but we weren't dating.
Okay.
And she was like, I tell you what, I'll even call you on the way home in secret so you can overhear our conversation, and I'll ask him. And I was like, wow, like this is my
That's
friend. Like that's some next level shit. Okay. So,
all right.
obviously she never called me,
Nope.
and I was texting him the whole time, and so he walked her home, and he's texting me being like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just walking so and so home for safety," and da, 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 and I'm like, "Okay, well, I'm going home." And, turns out she just, like, tried to sleep with him, like, desperately tried to get him to come into her house and, like, tried to make out with him and grab him and everything, and then tried to, like, force her way into his house, but he wasn't going home, he was coming to me after. He was just like, "Oh, I'm gonna walk her home for safety, and then I'll come over to yours, and we can hang out." And so, like, he just kind of was like, "What are you okay, bye," and, like, left.
Right?
But, yeah, and then I never talked to him
No.
again after that because she stopped talking to me because she was so angry and jealous. So I was like, "I just fuck." Like, yeah, there's some toxic friends out there for sure. But,
Yep. Yep.
we should definitely wrap this up.
Sounds good.
Mhm.
Um, so let us know what you guys think down in the comments about any of the stories, or go over to our Reddit page, which is linked down below, and then you could share your own crazy relationship asshole stories, or ask us
Mhm.
any questions about if it is it? Are you the asshole?
could you potentially
I know.
be?
Oh, or not to be.
Or not to be? That is the question. Am I the asshole? Who or not to be am I the asshole? Is that the question?
To be or not to be. Awesome. What about you, Sassy? Do you have anything coming up on your social media stuff
Oh,
this week that people
Lord.
should be aware of?
I am so behind on my YouTube channel. I had like a
No.
pretty bad mental health break after my India trip. So I
Fair.
do plan this week on like pre-editing a bunch of content so I can get that ready to post for the next few weeks because oh boy, have I dropped the ball on that. But I am
Oh
at
no.
White Girl Panics or at White Girl Panic on like every fucking platform. My YouTube is White Girl Panics about stuff. I'll be linked down below. What about you?
I am linked down below. Everybody can follow along with the randomness of my day, my life,
You are posting a
my
lot
moments.
lately. You've been doing real good.
Hey, 1 to 2 every day.
Mhm.
Do do do. And I need to start bringing a tripod with me when I wander around
Oh,
because
yeah.
I actually was doing a windshield repair crack thing. I
Mhm.
got it from Canadian Tire. And I was like, okay, I'm going to film this and then I can post it and it'll be so cute. Yeah, the entire time I didn't have a tripod. So I'm filming with my one and I'm trying to like record this, but the camera is recording over here
Yeah,
the
just
entire time.
not
So
concentrating on the 2
yeah,
things at once. No.
it's very difficult. So I'm going to
That's why
start
I have,
actually bringing.
this phone case.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I just need to start carrying a purse with me again. I haven't done that in a very long
Mm.
time.
Mhm.
So,
I don't need to
yep.
now because we pay by everything in Thailand is QR code. It's so handy.
Oh, no, it's literally just because now I have to bring a tripod
Yeah,
with me places. So,
bring your tripod with you.
yeah,
Oh,
fantastic.
yeah.
But yes, I am working on things. Things are slowly happening and hopefully things will be happening better after August
Oh, yeah,
12th.
yeah. Everything's going to improve for both of us. I'm gonna get back on track. Your brain's gonna be working good. We're gonna be fire.
Maybe. Ow, ow, ow.
But
Yes.
other
So,
than that, please make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe here on the channel. If you want to drop some love in our YouTube comments, we really, really appreciate that. And thank you so much for tuning in again to Thoughts Over Coffee.
yeah. Have a great day. Stay caffeinated.
Yes, yes.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.